To begin, take a flat soft hairbrush and with a flesh tint lightly mark the position and the shape of the head, the neck and some area below it. With the same brush, with a very light touch, mark the proportions of the figure and its posture by indicating the bust, waist, and the position of the hands and feet. Now take a dark color, black, and with the brush fill in the color, following the direction of the hair and making the shape of the head. Apply the color keeping in mind the light and dark tones visible, thus leaving out the areas with the highlights on them. Now take a darker flesh tint to paint in the shadows or the darker tones on the face, the ears, the outline of the lower face, the neck area below the chin. With a neutral tone, light grey, lightly indicate the eyebrows and the position of the eyes. Lighting is very important in figure work as the play of light and shade describes the form and also creates the tonal contrast. Take the color of clothing starting with the middle tone and with broad directional brush strokes fill in the contours of the figure. For defining the contours of the form, use the tip of the brush for a linear application of color. Then press down the brush to fill in the color. Begin from the shoulders, then the area around the neck and move downwards. Your brush strokes should follow the structure of the figure, and so as you apply paint, the form and the volume are defined. After painting the middle tone, start with the darker tone. A darker tone or the color in shadow is generally a cooler color that is bluer or greener. With directional brush strokes, paint the shadow areas with a cooler color. The brush strokes while following the folds and falls on the drapery also reveal the posture underneath. As you continue painting the entire figure, always keep in mind the play of light and shade and the tonal contrast that emerges in it. However, in the beginning, it is at times difficult to mix colors, and so one can add to the range of colors one is using. Such as keeping one or two purples or mauves as well as some special reds. There have been many techniques used in painting, but what we are using today is called alla prima, which means at first. The opportunity of this technique in 19th century France is credited to the painter Manet and the impressionist. In this, the color is not built up gradually, but each stroke of the brush is applied to give the final effect intended, and the painting is completed in one session. Now take light tone or a bright red color on your brush and paint the area which is brightly illuminated. As you apply paint on the sheet, vary the length and direction of the brush stroke based on the part that you are making. The contrast of tones and the warm and cool colors that you are using is what creates depth in the painting. As warm colors appear to project forward and cool colors seem to recede, this imparts a sense of volume to the figure. As you paint and add further details, keep on lightly merging the colors where they meet. You will eventually use 4 to 5 shades of red to get the desired effect. In a similar manner, define the lower part of the figure. Take the color of the lower garment and brush in the contours of the legs, going on to fill in the colors. While drawing the contours with the brush, also indicate the shape of the knee, the upper leg, so as to define the structure as well. This knowledge of human anatomy comes from the study of the human form for which it is important to practice drawing pupil whenever you can. Some of your models can be friends and family who can pose for you. Or you can draw yourself in the mirror. Keep a sketchbook with you and made studies of pupils sitting, walking, relaxing. The more you sketch, the better will be your understanding and capturing of the human forms and its different postures. Even the greatest of artists have worked hard to achieve their artistic perfection, and it is said of them that the mastery and genius they command is a result of consistent hard work. This underlines the fact that the more you practice, the better you will get. Now take the flesh tint and define the hands. Also color in the dupatta near the hand. With a neutral color such as grey, define the feet. A dull color is being used first as the feet are in comparative shadow compared to the other skin tones. Here too, define the feet in dark and light tones according to the fall of light. Continue to paint the dupatta around the neck and shoulders in pink and in mauve colors. The colors marking the tonal contrast of the parts of the dupatta that are in light and shade. In a figure study, you should balance the form with its environment. Take different tints of brown and in simple, bold strokes make the wooden table the model is seated on. Add touches of other colors that show in reflections of colors from the surroundings on the surface of the table. Such as red color to depict the reflection of the red on the drapery on the table surface. Choose the different tints of the brown of the table and according to the fall of light on the object paint it with deft, controlled and smooth brush strokes. Eugenie Delacroix, the French Romanesque artist, said, "There are neither lights nor shades, there is only a color mass for each object, having different reflections on all sides." Meanwhile, give the model a break from time to time and converse with her once in a while, as this helps avoid a stiff pose and a fixed expression. Similarly, place touches of other colors, such as brown on the black, showing reflections of the colors around. Take a neutral color and brush in the background in quick strokes. Here use free brush strokes that will impart texture and a shaded effect to the background. With more use of water, the color acquires greater fluidity. While you are painting, make sure that as you use a different color, you can change the brush as well. If the number of brushes available is few, then clean the brush with a soft cloth before taking up a new color. Take a small brush and to give better definition to the face, take flesh tint, the middle tone, and paint in the forehead, cheekbones, nose, chin, side of the face. Here your brush strokes have to be small and not the long and fast moving strokes used to paint the figure. As the face is small in size, the details have to be drawn, so you have to paint with greater care. Next, take the darker tint and brush in the shadows on the face, and finally, with the lightest tint, place in the highlights and blend in the colors lightly. While fleshing out the face, keep your hand steady by rest it partially on the sheet. For this purpose, leave some of the ground to the right side of the face uncolored so that when the hand rests on that area, the color will not smudge. Starting with the Venetian painters during the Renaissance period, colors has come to be seen as a primary element of painting. This approach is summed up by the American artist Georgia O'Keeffe's statement that this approach is summed up by the American artist Georgia O'Keeffe's statement that I found I could say things with color and shapes that I couldn't say any other way, things I had no words for. Again, with a small round brush, work out details of the eyes carefully. With a dark brown color, brush in the deeper shadows on the face. Your hand should be steady and strokes confident, which comes only from regular practice. As Lucian Freud stated, the longer you look at an object, the more abstract it becomes, and ironically, the more real. Thus, as you decide to paint, any object or subject, observation is key to capturing it through your art. Good observation and its rendering is a balance of perception and conception. That is the coming together of the eye and the brain. Berthe Morisot has said, real painters understand with a brush in their hand. Reiterating in a manner that the unrelenting practice of your art and its craft is the only way to reach the highest peak. Thus, the understanding of color and tonal relationship and the movement of the brush become signifiers of an artist who is in control of his or her art. Now that the figure has been largely brought out, further details should be worked out. Take vivid red and brush in the highlights on the figure. Similarly, brush in the details of the table through the rendering of the fall of light on the object and the shadows it creates. Take flesh tint and give shape and a warmth to the feet and the hands. Brush in the subtle shades and light on the legs. To bring out further details, a combination of pastel pencil and oil pastels is used. Take a pastel pencil, which is more a drawing tool than a painting tool, and draw the hair. and add further details to the eyes. Define the eyebrows and the lips. Also color in the shadow under the chin and on the neck, which helps contour the face. Pencil in the deepest shadows on the face. Draw the shadows on the figure. Also employ the pastel pencil to give the figure a crisp outline and define the hands. Brush in the shadows and bring out further details in the figure. By varying the pressure on the pencil, the strokes can be made light or dark. These few strokes bring out greater definition and detail. While lighting a figure, make sure that the light is not too harsh, as even though such light will create dramatic and sharp contrast of light and dark, it will also make the form look flat and with very little depth. Try to ensure that the light source is constant and lights the face and the figure in a proper manner with the right degree of gradations between the light and dark parts. With oil pastel, further sharpen the details by using a vivid red pastel to mark out the highlights on the form. A black pastel to draw the deep shadows on the legs, blue pastel for the dupatta, and a flash tint pastel to mark the sharpest highlights on the face and the body. The pastel is soft enough and can be merged by rubbing with a finger. In this way, it can be blended with the other colors. By working with pastels on the acrylic paint, what emerges is a mixed media work. Artworks created using more than one medium, such as oil paints and pastels, watercolors and colored pencils, and so on, are referred to as mixed media works. Use a pastel to create texture in the background and also to show the fall of light on the ground. Finally, sign the work, and as pastels have a tendency to get rubbed on contact, so spray a fixative on the work.